Hi everyone. It is Thursday, October 5th, 2017, and this is episode 114 of Serenova Crafts. I'm your host, Jessica. I can be found as Serenova on Ravelry and Twitter, and as Serenova Crafts on Instagram. You can find the show notes for today's episode on my blog or in the Ravelry group, if I remember to post them this week. It's been a couple of weeks since I last recorded, and I figured since I had today completely off from both jobs, I would do a quick recording to let you guys know what's going on and just to say hi. I do have another faux for you guys this week. I've been trying to finish up some projects, but I do have a new whip as well because I'm test knitting for a friend. So what did I do with that bag of stuff? I keep meaning to block my fade and weave the ends in, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. Because we've had the Jewish high holidays in the meantime, which is part of the reason why I haven't recorded. Things have been really busy. We've had Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which was this past weekend. And then last night was the start of Sukkot. And then next week is Simchat Torah. So things have been a little crazy at both jobs because we're starting to gear up for holiday at Tivana. And at the synagogue, we have all this holiday stuff going on. So I have started a couple of projects, and I'm going to show you those first. The first thing I've started, which I don't think I showed it last week, and she didn't say I couldn't show it on the podcast, so I'm going to show it anyways. I am doing a test knit of a one skein shawl for Andrea, who is of the Cat Lady podcast. So here it is so far. It is an asymmetrical, if I can speak. It's an asymmetrical triangle shawl, and you can see here I've fairly not too far into it. The yarn I am using, in case you're wondering, is Molly Girl Yarns, her baseline base in the colorway Mission Bells. It is technically a sock yarn, but I wanted to see how this pattern would work up in a speckled, since nobody else was working it up. Nobody else who volunteered to work it up was working it up in a speckle, so speckles it is. Figures might as well see how the pattern looks in speckles, right? It seems like a reasonable thing to me. This project bag is courtesy of Mandy Pinecone. She gave it to me when I was in Canada back in June. I only just dug it out of the other upstairs room because I was looking for some yarn that somebody wanted to buy off of my stash on Ravelry. I do have a few yarns for sale up there. Basically stuff that I just realized I wasn't ever going to use. I bought this skein of lace weight cotton, and I found that I don't terribly enjoy working with cotton, and so I listed the skein for sale on Ravelry at a little bit of a loss, but it's fine, whatever. And I included shipping, so it wasn't like extra shipping or anything. So I had somebody PM me last week interested in it, and I finally managed to find it because that other room is still even more of a mess than this room. Now keep in mind, I've added another bookshelf since I recorded. I have boxes, those boxes there I'm starting to sort stuff into, but this pile of stuff is all remnants from moving. And I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks in my spare time, of which there is not much, to get some of it, to go through some of it. Most of what's in the boxes actually the stack of boxes there, those are empty. I'm going to use them for filing once I've sorted through this stuff here. But a lot of this stuff is paperwork, like things I need to save, like you know, stuff about my health insurance and old checkbooks, and it's paperwork you need to save for an extended period of time, but it isn't really quite sorted or organized yet. So that's a work in progress. I have also started this project on very big needles, and I know I don't normally use straights, but I didn't have, actually I might switch to, I do have, what size am I using? 10s? Yeah, I have 10s. I might switch to a 10. I do have a 10, actually. I think I'm going to switch to it. I'm going to pull it now from my thing of needles. But anyways, I hadn't realized that was there. I'm starting a brioche cowl. And this is going to be a gift to my manager at Tivana. She is very sweet, and she's very torn up about the fact that the store is closing, and she spent 5 years of her life with this company, and she's worked her way up from entry-level position to store manager, and she's very heartbroken over the whole thing, and I thought I would do something nice for her. So she really likes purples, so I'm giving her an Easy Care scarf. The yarn I'm using is one of those big cakes from, it's a Karen Big Cakes cake, and it's all different shades of purple because I know she really likes purple. And I thought a nice squishy cowl in some easy care yarn would be appreciated, because she's also done a lot to just help me professionally, and like training and just giving me advice, and even though she's younger than me, but she's had very different life experiences from me, and so I think it's just she's just been really sweet about the whole thing, and she's, like I said, she's really torn up about the store closing. So I decided I was going to make her a cowl as a gift. I am choosing Easy Care machine washable yarn, mainly because I don't want to give her a gift with care instructions, especially because I know she's going to be going to nursing school after after Tivana closes, and so yeah. So the other thing I pulled out of storage to work on, because I finished one sock project, so I need another sock project. Yes, that is a very bright orange. It is as bright in real life as it looks on camera. Very, very bright orange. This bag is from Selma, who is Selma Knits on Instagram and Ravelry, I believe. She is 1/3 of the Two Tangled Skeins podcast. I don't know if she's been on recently, but this was the bag she gifted me last Rhinebeck, which, by the way, I didn't get a chance to share the good news on the podcast. I get to go to Rhinebeck this year. My manager, the one I'm making the cowl for, managed to finagle schedules that weekend that I have 3 days off, and I can go to Rhinebeck. So Jen, aka the Uncreative Crafter, and I are going to be carpooling again out to Rhinebeck with a pit stop at Webb's along the way. So expect to see lots of photographs and lots of Instagram posts and lots of just really cute stuff coming up that weekend, which is the 20th to the 22nd. So I'm really excited I get to go. But anyways, she got me this bag, and actually I started these socks, oh god, at last Rhinebeck. So, but I haven't really knit on them a lot. I actually bought these needles. These are carbon fiber needles. They're actually like wicked bendy. Like, look at that. Look at that bend. Look at that bend. Right? Like, these are weird. Jen and I bought it when I was at Webb's with Jen last year when we stopped on the way to Rhinebeck. A little bit of yarn barf there. Oops. But I found these while I was digging in the other room in my yarn stash, and I'm like, oh, I should work on those, considering I started them like a year ago, and I really should finish them. I really try not to leave socks on the needles this long. Socks I usually try to finish pretty quickly, but for some reason these I just never got around to doing. So, yeah. So I pulled from the opposite end of the ball for the heel on these. I was actually working on these at the wedding I went to last month, because I pulled them out a while ago. Pulled them back out a couple of weeks ago. So I pulled from the other end of the ball for the heel, but it doesn't look out of place, so that I had continuous striping on the front with no interruption. Which means extra ends to sew in at the end, to weave in at the end, but I think that's okay. But I am hoping that I'll be able to knock this pair out soon as well, though I am still on the first sock. So, speaking of, I should now put a progress keeper in on that one, so that you guys can see. Just going to do it while I'm sitting here, because otherwise I won't remember, and I'd like to be able to show you guys progress on stuff, which means I kind of need to know what's what. So there we go. Progress keeper has been inserted, so next time you guys see these, hopefully they will be farther along. Oh, and just in case you're wondering what this yarn is, it is Soul to Soul by Sirdar, and the colorway, it just has a number on the label, but according to Ravelry, the colorway is called Pigeon Toes. I don't know why you would call this colorway Pigeon Toes, but I like the colorway, so whatever. So now on to my fill this week, because it was kind of slow at work yesterday. And by work I mean Tivana, not at the synagogue, because the synagogue is never slow. But Tivana does have some very slow times. And I finished these socks, which I'm keeping in this bag I got from my friend, the Who bag. She is actually no longer selling this type of bag because this is a problem with the tape measure poking its way out of the fabric. And she offered to replace, but I'm like, look, it's a prototype. You were practicing. It was a new design. You weren't sure. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So the last time I showed these on the podcast, I had one sock and a partial sock. You can see from where the marker is. I had one sock, partial sock. Well, since I showed it to you guys like, oh god, a month or two ago, I have finished it. And starting yesterday morning, I had about that much sock. So I did that yesterday. It was a slow day at work. Let's just say that. It was a very slow day at Tivana. I don't have time to knit at the synagogue, which is a good thing, really. I mean, I don't mind being busy. In fact, I like being busy because it means I'm helping them out and there's things to do and stuff like that. But at the same time, when I'm at Tivana, if there aren't customers and we've already literally done everything we can in the store, we just kind of sit there and stare at each other. So I said, F it, and out these came, and what do you know? I have a foe. So, taking the stitch marker, taking the place marker out because I don't need them anymore, and these are even gen finished because the ends are woven in. I tend not to block socks, but they are done. Because I don't see the point in blocking socks, because I'm literally just going to put them on my feet, soak them in sweat, and then wash them. What is the point in blocking socks? But that's just my personal opinion. If you block socks, that's fine. I have blocked socks that have lace or cable elements in them, but when I'm just doing a vanilla sock, I don't see the point. I really don't. That's my personal preference. If you always block your socks, vanilla or no, keep doing it. I'm not going to tell you no. But personally, I'm just like, I don't see the point. So anyways, in case you're wondering what yarn this is Highland Handmaids on her, so this is Highland Handmaids on her Sugar Maple Sock Base in the colorway Co. As you can see, I think it's called Co. I follow her blog. I love her shop. This yarn I picked up a little while ago. Oh, right. I have stash. I got another Highland Handmade skein because she is awesome and makes awesome stuff. And I saw this one-of-kind skein in her shop, and I grabbed it before anybody else could because I follow her on Instagram. This is on her Speckled Alder sock. Can't really see much of the speckle, but yarn. But speaking of Highland Handmaids, she called this colorway Confetti. So this one is 90% superwash targi and 10% nylon. Oh, speckled just isn't colored. Okay. But I thought the colors were really pretty. I think this will work up into super fun socks, and I'm excited to knit with this. But I'm not going to cast this on. I'm going to be good. It's going to go over here with the, it's going to go over there with the Lambie Toes yarn, which I am holding off on as well. I'm trying to get, because before I cast these off yesterday, I had 18 whips. I'm hoping to get down to 10 before I cast anything else on. I'm going to try to be good. We'll see how I do. But I still have some yarn left over. So this is probably going to end up in a couple of scrap projects. Because I am doing a beekeeper quilt. It'll be done 5 years from now. Because I'm using little pieces as I go. But I have enough to work it into a couple of scrap projects. So that's my foe. That is what's going on. I can put those needles away. And in case you're wondering who made this bag, she is now doing box style bags. This is a single strand studio. Let's see if the camera will focus. Come on. There we go. So there's her information. A single strand studio. It's this woman, Carol, who is a nurse, and her daughter, Amber. They are regulars in 2 of the knitting groups I go to. Well, or at least Carol is. Amber has 2 kids and she doesn't necessarily have time, but Carol is grandma and has a little more free time, even though she still works. But so her and Amber are now making box bags. So even though I had problems with this one, again, it was a prototype, so please don't hold it against them and go give them some love. She'll probably be very happy I mentioned her on the podcast. But yeah, so I think is that everything? I think so. I bought some, oh, right. But anyways, what I was going to say first, because I'm all over the place. I need some water, though. It's a little warm up here. It's, what temperature is it? What temperature is it right now? Come on, computer. Come on. Oh, it's 78? Really? Oh, I hope it isn't actually 78. It's October. Okay, it's 75. Excuse me. I kind of dripped water on myself. Okay, it's 75. But really, I'm in an unconditioned upstairs because this is where the desk is and where I've just kind of set up my stuff. Trust me, I'm going to go downstairs when I'm done recording. But, yeah, I got, you know, those over door top, like hanger things that have like all the hooks and stuff. I got one to hang up like you can't see it because the door's like on the same wall the desk is sitting on. But it's for like, I got it for hats and bags and stuff that I don't necessarily want to keep downstairs because I don't use them as often, but I still kind of want access to them. I actually picked those up today while I was out because I went and ran a whole bunch of errands this morning. But it went well. And the one last thing I want to do before I let you go for this episode is I want to do the draw for the September finished objects thread in the Ravelry group. Now, I forgot to lock it on October 1st, so those of you that made it in, good for you. Totally my goof, but that's fine. So there are 7 posts. The first one is me, so that means there are 6 entries. So I am going to do the draw. I still have the random, I ended up getting a new phone. So I now have a Google Pixel instead of a Nexus and a Pixel. I don't know if you can hear that on the camera, but fire trucks just went streaming by. At least I'm pretty sure it's fire trucks. There's a fire station about a quarter mile that way, so we actually hear them a fair bit. Yeah, so on the other side of the main street, there's a Chinese store, a liquor store, and a supermarket. A Chinese restaurant, a liquor store, and a supermarket. It's not a very good liquor store. But the problem is that in New Hampshire, all the liquor stores are state liquor stores. And if it's a small one, it means they have a really crappy selection. Yeah. But anyways, and about a quarter mile that way is a fire station, and then a quarter mile after that is an elementary school. And then a quarter mile after that is Manchester. So we're kind of close to a little bit of a hub stuff. But anyways, yeah, I got a new phone because my old one fell on the buttons on the side, and the power button broke. And I couldn't turn the phone on, which is a problem if the phone ever dies or turns itself off. So I got a replacement. Which it wasn't bad. I just paid the $100 like replacement fee. I didn't have to actually buy the phone, but now I have a Pixel instead of, oh, you can see my reflection of me recording. Hey, look, recursion. Sorry. Anyways, I did install reinstall the randomizer on this phone, so I want 2 to 7 randomize 2. All right, who is post number 2? Post number 2 is Melt LC. I think that's how I say your thing. I will tag you in the post for this. Congratulations, you are the winner. You did a double knit coaster of a leaf. It actually looks really cool. Makes me kind of want to knit coasters. But anyways, you have won a $6 pattern credit from me to you. So PM me on Ravelry with your choice, and hopefully I remember to send it to you. Sometimes I'm a little bit bad about remembering to send stuff to people, but just shoot me a PM and bug me about it, and I will totally get it to you. I'm really sorry. So for those of you who I've forgotten for a few months or longer, I'm really, really sorry, and I hope I'm finally caught up now, and I hope everyone has gotten their prizes, and I hope you are all enjoying them. But anyways, I'm going to call it for this episode. I am actually almost at 18 minutes, which is the longest I've had for a while. So I hope you guys all have a good week, and hopefully I will be able to record next week. I might do it in the evening after work because I am working on Thursday next week, but I'm hoping in the future Thursday mornings, it's the afternoon, but I'm hoping in the future after next week, moving forward, Thursday mornings can kind of be my standard recording morning. So hope you guys all have a good week, and I will hopefully see you sometime next week, and it won't be 2.5 weeks again until I record it. So I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye!